Do you really need a brand story? We are almost to the end of 2023, and I know you had big plans for this year, and some of them happened, yay, and some of them didn't. Boo hiss, right? But 2024, it's so full of possibility, and having the right messaging is key to your success. But there are so many things that you could work on to fix your messaging and your positioning. How actually important is a brand story in that mix? That is the question I am answering today. And spoiler alert, it's critical. Well, it's critical if you want to rise above all that online noise and if you like clients and money. And who doesn't, right? If this is the first time we're talking, I'm Wendy White, messaging and client getting strategist for coaches and consultants who are ready to become thought leaders. I teach you to confidently communicate your unique value so that you can impact a greater audience and bring in those truly ideal clients quickly and simply. So let's talk brand story, shall we? First off, what on earth is it? Really important to make sure we're on the same page, right? There are a lot of stories that you can tell about you and about your business. A brand story, the one I am talking about, is a concise, focused tale about why you do what you do. It's about your purpose and your mission. You're going to share your origin story. Yes, just like you're a superhero. Pretend you're Spider-Man or Batman, or screw it, pretend you're Wonder Woman, okay? You're a superhero, and you're going to describe what happened to you to set you on the road to doing the work that you do today. And you're going to show your audience how they can do the same with your help. Now, ideally, this brand story, it's 3 to 5 minutes spoken. And not because you're speaking at the speed of light without stopping to take a breath. No. Now, a brand story is so powerful because in just a few minutes, it is going to make you unique. It shows your audience why you, yes, you are the expert. It establishes that all important know, like, and trust that we're going for, affinity with the people who are listening or reading. And it tells them why you should be the one they hire over anybody else in that crowded market. So it sounds like something you need, right? Now, where do you need a brand story? Well, to be honest, you need it all over the damn place. You need it for social media. You need it on your website. You need it for any kind of PR and publicity, any interview. You're going to need it for speaking gigs. You need it for networking. It is honestly cornerstone content for your messaging and your positioning. It is what you will use for your keynote address. You know, when they ask you to speak at that conference and they want you to be the one who opens the event, this is where you start. It is chapter one of your book. You're writing a book, you're contributing to a book. This is the very first thing you're going to say. It is the foundation for that TED Talk that you want to get scheduled for later this year. That's why a brand story is so important. And it is critical. I said before, it's critical. It is critical for your thought leadership this year. So I know that you have got a bunch of big plans, right? You have all sorts of things you're working on to take your business to where you really want it to be. You are working on raising your visibility on social media, right? And you are trying to impact a much bigger audience. And so you're speaking and you're networking and you're out there working on getting media wins, right? And most of all, because a business isn't a business if you don't have clients and sales, you are working on getting booked by more of those really, truly ideal clients, but in a way that's not so laborious, so time consuming. You want to get hired more quickly and more simply without having to constantly rely on those Rube Goldberg marketing machines of doom that everyone is so fond of. So here's the deal. A brand story is key to all of that. So here's why. First of all, let's say you're out on social media and you're trying to raise your profile, right? I know you're out there and you're working to get and keep their attention. And you're out there giving mad value, aren't you? You are posting about how to do this and how to do this, and you're doing teaching videos and you're sharing your expertise like a crazy person, which is fantastic, except that it's not, because that social media strategy is seriously failing you as a thought leader. Because being a thought leader is not just about teaching how to do this and how to do that. It is about you standing out because you stand for something. Yeah. This is about not just what you do, but why you do it, why they should care. It's about your mission. It's about your purpose. It's about your convictions. It is about why you do what you do. That's a lot to say. So, how do you convey all of that clearly and concisely and confidently? A brand story that positions you as the leader that they have been seeking. So, in that sea of cookie cutter coaches and consultants that you're drowning in, you are the only one they want to hire. Sound good? Second, I know you're out there trying to influence a greater audience through speaking and through networking and getting featured in the media, right? So you're pursuing podcasts and you're trying to get into summits and you're working on relationship marketing and maybe you're even contributing to a book. Here's a straight poop on that. No matter where you go in any of that, they're all going to ask you one question. Do you know what it is? What's your story? What's your story? Now, sadly, if you are like most coaches and consultants, when they ask you this question, what's going to happen is this. You're going to open your mouth and you are going to ramble for what feels like the rest of your life. And you're going to confuse us and you're going to bore the bejesus out of us. And you're going to look up 20 minutes later and you're going to feel like, damn it, did I even say anything that mattered? You know what would be better than that? A concise, focused brand story that inspires your audience with your thought leadership. Now more than ever, people are desperate for hope. They are desperate for inspiration. And that is what your brand story gives them. It offers possibility of what they could do with your help, of who they could become following your lead. It gives them the opportunity to believe in themselves and to put their trust into you. Way too many people are leading with fear and putting that front and center in their marketing. Now is the perfect time for you to lead, truly lead with inspiration, with hope, and with possibility. Don't you agree? A brand story not only allows you to be an inspiration and to spread your thought leadership, it is also one of the most powerful client getting tools on the planet. And this is proven to me over and over and over again. Now, there is a difference between telling a story and telling a brand story for the purpose of getting clients. Unlike 99% of the storytelling out there in the market, the brand story that I'm talking about is crafted to compel action from your audience. It's going to take them on the journey that you want them to go on, the one that ends with them hiring you or buying your book or booking you for that TED Talk. Your ideal client is going to recognize that you see her, that you understand her, and that you can help her. And so hiring you is going to be a no-brainer. Makes sense? Now, there are a lot of storytelling coaches out there, and they will be happy to discuss the art of the story endlessly and load you up with more and more creative writing projects. But you don't need any more creative writing projects, do you? What you need are more of those truly ideal clients. So here's the thing. I'm not a storytelling coach. I am a client getting coach. If you want your brand story to actually get you hired, it is not enough to just tell a good story. You needed to carry a powerful and persuasive message that gets them to buy whatever you are selling. And that right there, that's my specialty, because that's what I help people do. Craft a message that wins them clients. Now, here is what I mean by that. I just did a speaking gig. It was podcast style, and no surprise, the very first question out of her mouth was, what's your story? How did you get here? So here's what happened. In the very first minutes of this interview, I told my own brand story. Not only did I call out to my ideal client and what they're looking for, I reinforced my own thought leadership, my convictions, and I let them know exactly why they should hire me over anyone else. And what happened next? Well, I can tell you this, in the last 7 days since that interview aired, I have gotten nearly 100 new potential clients signing up for my email list, and it's only been 7 days. So what is that worth? I can put an ROI on this right away, a solid ROI on that for you, because I run Facebook ads for my super popular challenges. And I can tell you that a good cost per lead these days running a Facebook ad is $10 to $12. So those 100 people who I've gotten in the last 7 days, that's roughly $1,200 in ad costs that I saved just by telling my brand story. And the brand story is working for my clients as well. They are using it for intros to speaking gigs, for sales and networking conversations, for YouTube videos, on their about pages. And wherever they are telling their story, it is immediately making an enormous impression. People are sucked in completely and want more from them as a result. Here's what that looks like. The very first time she shared her brand story, Beth Esty booked strategy calls specifically from that share. As soon as she tweaked her funnel using my magic words, Sharon Silver made immediate sales. And after 6 months of no new clients, Sheila Keelty learned my brand story strategy. Within 48 hours, she used what she learned to close $9,600 in sales. And in the next 7 weeks, she closed another $20,000. Yes, she did. So what do you think? Does it sound like a brand story is something that you need to be adding to your toolkit for 2024? Happily, I can help. Because in my upcoming masterclass, Brand Stories That Convert, I am sharing the exact same strategy that produced these ridiculous results. Brand Stories That Convert is an intimate and interactive masterclass to create the unique and powerful client-winning brand story that you need as a thought leader. In just a few hours, you're going to learn how to craft this cornerstone of your messaging and your positioning that are going to make all of your social media and speaking and publicity and networking and client getting much more effective, not to mention much more enjoyable. Now, it's coming up soon. It's happening on Monday, December 18th from 11 to 4 Eastern Time. In Brand Stories That Convert, you are going to get my proven strategy. I'm going to walk you step by step through my client getting story strategy. It's enabled hundreds of coaches and consultants to craft this powerful client winning story. You're also going to get co-working sessions. You're not just going to learn how to create this story. You are going to immediately implement my strategy in real time together. You're also going to get my live support. You're going to get answers to your questions and feedback and troubleshooting, because I know that that is what makes all of the difference. You are going to walk away with everything you need for a tight, focused brand story that you are going to use everywhere. Your website, social media, podcasts, speaking gigs, sales and networking conversations, and yes, even your TED Talk. And if you've been to any of my workshops, any of my challenges or events, you know you always get so much more than just a powerful piece of messaging, because I'm going to be sharing key strategies and paradigm shifts that you can use to dramatically improve all of your brand messaging. What's that worth to you? A story that saved me $1,200 in ad spend over just the last 7 days. Lessons that earned Sheila $9,600 in just 2 days. Well, Brand Stories That Convert will cost you way less. I'm telling you right now. The last few times I've run this masterclass, the price was $800 to $900, depending on how you paid. But I know it's the holidays. You've got goodies to buy this month. And so I'm making this a no-brainer at just $498. So I'm going to drop the link for all of this. You can check out the details and RSVP in the description below. So are you with me? Tell me you're with me. Tell me you're with me. Excellent. Now, this is the point I wanted to make today. Yes, a brand story is absolutely critical for your success in 2024. Well, if you like clients and money and spreading your thought leadership to a greater audience, but I'm pretty sure you do. And now you know what you need to do to make it happen for you. Join Brand Stories That Convert so that you can hit the ground running in 2024. And I'll see you there. Now go be extraordinary.